For decades, the Middle East was defined by a simple alliance. Gulf countries like Saudi Arabia and Qatar sold oil in US dollars, and America provided security. This deal made the US dollar the world's top currency and cemented America's influence in the region. But today, that old order is fading fast. Young leaders like Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman want more than just one powerful friend. They're reaching out to new partners in the East, exploring alliances with rising powers. The Gulf is building new trade routes and making deals that don't always involve the West. The Gulf states are loosening their dependence on the US, not cutting ties, but creating more options. The world's power centers are shifting, and understanding why the Gulf is making these moves is key to understanding the future. The Gulf's leaders are determined to shape their own destiny in a rapidly changing world. This is the story of how the Middle East is redefining its place in the world. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, a club of fast-growing influential nations. Unlike traditional Western powers, BRICS members come from different continents and systems, but share a goal: a world with many leaders, not just one. The group is expanding, inviting countries like Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE. If Saudi Arabia joins, BRICS could represent nearly half the world's population and a huge share of the global economy. BRICS is about helping each other grow, trading more, investing in each other, and starting their own bank. They want to use their own currencies, not just the US dollar, to make trade fairer. For Gulf countries, joining BRICS means easier business with China and India, and more independence from the West. It also helps Gulf nations achieve big goals, like Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030. BRICS offers the Gulf a platform to amplify its voice and protect its interests. This is why BRICS matters now more than ever. Why are Saudi Arabia and Qatar looking for new partners? They want more control over their future. The US is no longer seen as a guaranteed protector, so the Gulf is seeking other powerful friends. The fastest-growing economies are now in the East. China and India need Gulf energy, and trade with BRICS is booming. By joining BRICS, the Gulf secures long-term markets for its oil and gains leverage in global politics. Gulf leaders want to modernize their countries on their own terms, without outside interference. BRICS respects national sovereignty, making it attractive to leaders who dislike Western pressure on issues like human rights. Stronger ties with China, Russia, and India give the Gulf more influence and flexibility. China's role in brokering peace between Saudi Arabia and Iran shows the value of new partnerships. The Gulf is no longer just following the West, it's becoming a key player in its own right. Diversifying alliances means more options and more power on the world stage. The Gulf's strategy is about securing its future, not abandoning old friends. This shift is reshaping the region's role in global affairs. The search for new friends is about independence, opportunity, and influence. The numbers reveal a dramatic shift. Trade is moving from west to east. China is now Saudi Arabia's top trading partner, buying billions in oil and selling everything from electronics to building materials. India is another major customer, and together, BRICS countries are the Gulf's most important economic partners. Gulf sovereign wealth funds are investing in BRICS nations while China and India invest heavily in the Gulf. These deep economic ties are creating powerful new alliances. The old petrodollar system, where oil was sold only in US dollars, is being challenged. Gulf states are starting to use other currencies, like the Chinese yuan, for oil sales. This threatens the dollar's dominance and signals a new era in global finance. The Gulf is also investing in massive projects to diversify its economy, with BRICS nations as key partners. Economic partnership is leading to closer political ties, creating a cycle that pulls the Gulf further into the orbit of rising Eastern powers. The shift isn't just about oil, it's about technology, infrastructure, and the future. The Gulf's new trade routes are redrawing the world's economic map. As the Gulf looks east, its influence is growing. The move away from the West is accelerating, and the impact is global. The Gulf's economic strategy is reshaping international trade and finance. These changes are setting the stage for a new balance of power. The world is watching as the Gulf redefines its partnerships and priorities. For decades, the US dollar ruled global trade, thanks to oil being priced in dollars. This gave America huge advantages, but now Gulf states are exploring other options, a process called de-dollarization. They want to protect themselves from US political risks, like sanctions, by trading in currencies like the yuan or rupee. This shift gives them more economic independence and control. BRICS nations are pushing for trade in local currencies, making deals faster and cheaper. Saudi Arabia selling oil in yuan is now a real possibility, which could shake the global financial system. Moving away from the dollar won't happen overnight. The dollar is still dominant, but small steps, like settling some trade in rupees, show the trend is real. The world is slowly moving toward a multi-currency system. The Gulf's actions could redefine global finance in the years ahead. The petrodollar era is fading and a new chapter is beginning. The Gulf's currency choices will have worldwide consequences. The journey to a new financial order has already started. The US isn't standing still, it's making big moves to keep the Gulf close. In 2025, America negotiated over $1 trillion in deals with Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Qatar, focused on technology and defense. These deals reinforce the dollar's importance and tie the Gulf's tech future to the US. American companies are building massive data centers and AI hubs in the region. The US remains the Gulf's main security provider, supplying most of its advanced weapons. Defense ties are strong, but the Gulf is also building bridges to the east. The US uses its military and tech partnerships to remind the Gulf of their long friendship. But American politics can be unpredictable, pushing Gulf leaders to diversify. The Gulf wants the benefits of US partnership without total dependence. This creates a delicate dance between old allies and new partners. The US is adapting, but the Gulf is determined to keep its options open. The region's future will be shaped by both American and Eastern influence. The balance of power is shifting, and both sides are competing for the Gulf's loyalty. How do ordinary Saudis and Qataris feel about these changes? It's a mix of excitement and caution. Many young people are inspired by ambitious plans like Vision 2030, seeing new partnerships as a path to jobs and modern lifestyles. There's pride in their country's rising global status. But America still holds a special place. Many Gulf families have deep ties to the US through education, business, and culture. Nearly half of Saudis still prefer close US relations over China. The US connection is personal and practical, especially in sectors like energy and defense. People value stability and want gradual change, not sudden breaks. Gulf societies are becoming more global, with influences from China, India, and the West. This mix is shaping a new identity, proud of tradition, but open to the future. Most support their leaders' efforts to balance old friendships with new opportunities. The Gulf's people want progress, but also value the security that comes from strong, diverse partnerships. Their voices reflect the region's careful approach to change. For Saudi Arabia and Qatar, foreign policy is now a balancing act between the US and BRICS, especially China. The goal is to benefit from both sides without choosing one over the other. This strategy, called strategic diversification, gives the Gulf leverage in negotiations and more independence. Good relations with both the US and China mean better deals and more options, but balancing two rivals is risky. Closer ties with BRICS could upset America, and vice versa. Navigating these rivalries requires skillful diplomacy. Gulf leaders believe their oil wealth and strategic position give them unique influence. Recent US investments and Gulf moves toward BRICS show the balancing act is working, for now. The challenge is how long this delicate balance can last as global competition intensifies. The Gulf's strategy is to stay flexible and avoid being forced to choose sides. This approach is redefining the region's role in global politics. The Gulf is walking a tightrope, but so far, it's managing the risks. The future depends on how well it can keep this balance. The Gulf's pivot to the east is part of a global shift from a US-led world to one with many power centers. BRICS rise and the Gulf's new alliances are making the world more complex and unpredictable. The US must adapt, offering real value to keep its allies close. The dollar's dominance may fade, but America's influence will remain strong. For the Gulf, this is a chance to gain independence and build modern economies, but they must carefully manage great power competition to maintain stability. Their choices will impact global energy, finance, and security. For everyone else, a multipolar world brings both challenges and opportunities. Trade may get more complicated, but more voices could mean fairer decisions. The Gulf's transformation is a preview of the future global order. Power is spreading out, and every country is searching for its place. The world is watching as the Gulf helps shape a new era,